I still remember the feeling of the courtroom floor under my shoes. Cold, hard, and unforgiving. I remember the sound of my footsteps echoing as I walked in, trying to look more confident than I felt. Truth is, I was terrified. It was my very first case. I had just passed the bar. Everyone I knew was looking for comfortable jobs at big firms with high salaries and fancy titles. But me? I took a case that no one wanted. A case that paid nothing. A case people said had no chance. They told me it was a waste of time. That the law was already settled. That the courts didn't care about people like my client. But I cared. Her name was Rachel. She was a single mother, working 2 jobs to take care of her 7-year-old son, Elijah. One day, Elijah got really sick. High fever, throwing up, in and out of the hospital. Rachel had no one else, no family, no friends nearby, so she missed work to be with him. And then she got fired. No warning. No sympathy. Just a cold letter that said she had violated company policy by being absent too many times. When I met her, she was sitting on a bench outside the legal aid office, holding Elijah's hand. Her eyes were red from crying, and she kept apologizing, as if needing help made her a burden. But to me, she wasn't a burden. She was brave. She was a mother who put her child first, even when the world punished her for it. I decided I would fight for her, even if I was young, even if I had no courtroom experience, even if the law seemed to be against us. I spent days researching, reading every case I could find, looking for a way in. Most nights I fell asleep with books on my chest, highlighters in my hand. I didn't have a team, just me, a borrowed laptop, and a heart full of fire. The day of the trial, I wore a blazer my aunt gave me and shoes that had once belonged to my cousin. They didn't quite fit, but I made them work. Rachel sat behind, me, quiet and nervous, holding a picture of Elijah in her lap. The courtroom was intimidating. Wooden benches, high ceilings, and a judge who looked like he'd seen 1,000 cases before mine. He looked at me and asked, "What exactly are you trying to achieve here?" I told him, "I want to prove that parents like Rachel shouldn't be punished for choosing their child's health over a paycheck." That's when he laughed, not loud, not cruel, but enough. A short, quiet laugh, like he thought I was naive, like my dream was cute, but unrealistic. It hurt. I wanted to disappear. I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. But then, I looked back at Rachel. I looked at Elijah's picture in her hand, and I remembered my own childhood. My mom worked cleaning offices at night and waiting tables during the day. I remembered how she once lost a job because she stayed home to take care of me when I had chickenpox. I remembered how she cried in the kitchen, trying to figure out how she'd pay rent. I couldn't walk away, not then. So I stood straighter. I lifted my chin, and I told the courtroom the truth. I told them about Rachel's life, not just her job, but her struggle, her sacrifices, her strength. I told them how Elijah had been in the hospital and how Rachel had begged her boss for just 2 days off. I showed them texts and emails. I showed them that this wasn't just about missed work. It was about being human. I spoke not like a lawyer, but like a daughter, like a woman, like someone who understood what it meant to be torn between love and survival. The other side argued that the company was within its rights. That policy is policy. That if exceptions are made, the system falls apart. But I asked the judge, what is the point of a system that punishes a mother for loving her child? The trial lasted 3 days. Every night I went home and cried. I was scared I had failed Rachel, scared the judge's laugh was right, that I was just another dreamer who didn't understand how the real world worked. And then, 2 weeks later, the call came. We won. The judge ruled in our favor. He said the law was outdated and the system needed to do better. Our case triggered a review of workplace policies statewide. Soon after, a new policy was introduced, one that gave parents legal protection if they needed time off to care for a sick child. No more firings, no more silent punishments. The law had changed. Rachel cried when I told her. She hugged me like I was family. And little Elijah, with his missing front tooth, gave me a drawing of a superhero and said it was me. Months later, I saw that same judge again at a law event. He pulled me aside and said, "I laughed because I thought you were dreaming too big. But you were right. We needed that dream." That moment stayed with me. Because sometimes people will laugh at your dreams, not always out of cruelty, sometimes because they've forgotten how to believe. But your dream is not too big. It's just big enough. I learned that day that the law isn't just about rules. It's about people. Real people. People with families, with struggles, with hopes and fears. It's easy to get lost in the pages of legal books, in the cold language of contracts and policies, in the idea that justice is something that only happens in big cases or with powerful names. But justice lives in moments like Rachel's, in the quiet, painful choice between losing a job or caring for a sick child. The courtroom isn't just a place for suits and arguments. It's a place where someone's entire world can shift with a single decision. And when we show up in that space with more than just facts, when we show up with empathy, with courage, with the voices of those who are often ignored, something incredible can happen. I realized then that fighting for justice isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the one who refuses to look away. It's about seeing the human being behind the case file. The mother who's doing her best, the child who needs her, the generations that will come after and live in the world we shape today. And when we fight for people with our hearts, not just our minds, we do more than win arguments. We do more than win cases. We lift people up. We give them hope. We make them feel seen. We tell them they matter, that their pain matters, their story matters, their life matters. And sometimes, if we're lucky, if the timing is right, if the system listens, if we don't give up, we don't just help one person, we change the law. We plant something that didn't exist before. A new protection, a new right, a new reason for someone else to believe that justice can be on their side. And that's the kind of work that doesn't end when the trial does. That's the kind of work that echoes. Long after the courtroom doors close, it keeps going. It lives on in every life touched by that change. That's what I carry with me now, every time I walk into a courtroom. Not just the weight of the law, but the beating heart behind it. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. It means the world to me. If you enjoyed it, here's how you can help support the channel and make sure you never miss out on future content. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. Stay updated with my latest uploads so you don't miss a thing. Every subscriber helps this channel grow. Drop a like. If this video helped, entertained, or inspired you, let me know with a thumbs up. It boosts the video's reach and tells YouTube you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What was your favorite part? Any suggestions for future videos? Let's chat in the comments. I read every single one. Share with a friend. Know someone who'd love this? Share it with them. Spreading the word helps more people discover this content. Your support is what keeps this channel going, and I'm so grateful for every like, comment, and share. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. See you in the next video.